Hello and welcome to another video on DesignScript. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the difference between associative and imperative blocks. Now, if you don't know what associativity is, go back and watch my video on associativity, which will explain how that works and how, up to now, everything has been programmed in associative code. In other words, when you update a variable later in your code, if it had been previously used in other functions, all those functions will update and change. So everything has a dependency between every sort of line of code and every variable has dependencies between each other. If you change one thing, it'll change everything it's dependent on. So the inverse of that is something called imperative code. And you would be much more familiar with that coming from other programming languages. So I'm going to show you how to make imperative code blocks in DesignScript. So we'll begin by importing our standard geometry library. So this is the most basic form of the imperative block. You can ignore cuboids, that's just the return variable name. And to declare an imperative block, use the square bracket, imperative keyword, and another square bracket. And then you have curly braces enclosing the actual code, the imperative code itself. So I have some code kind of stored that I copy and pasted. This is actually from the DesignScript manual that you can download. And stepping through each line one at a time, we can see that we create a kind of empty container, that will hold the cuboids that we're going to be generating. And then I'm creating this variable CS, which is a coordinate system at the identity, and then I'll begin translating it and using it to create a first cuboid. Then I'll rotate and translate the same coordinate system again, creating another cuboid, and I'll rotate and translate, create another cuboid, rotate and translate, and create another cuboid, and so on. And then I'll finally return these generated cuboids. So if we run this, we can see that it generates this whole series of cuboids in this kind of diagonal pattern. But if we think about how this would have worked if we had been programming in associative code, the moment I would have reassigned the value to CS, cs.rotate is equal to CS, C0 would have updated because there's a dependency between CS and cuboids. And same here. So essentially, if this was in associative mode, every single cuboid would look identically. But instead, we're actually building these objects up sequentially. So here we can sort of see we're creating a coordinate system, creating cuboid, rotating this and translating it, creating another cuboid, rotating and translating, create another cuboid, rotate and translate, create another cuboid. So that is how you do an imperative code. The only other thing to note is that imperative code blocks are similar to functions and that you have to return a value from them. So here I'm returning the C and it's put in the variable cuboids. All right, thank you for watching.